Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hey, it's Mike. Today's show is brought to you by Encore Insurance Services, LLC. For a free life insurance quote, just visit smartterm.com or call 866-347-5748 and find out how much you could be saving on life insurance. Again, that's 866-347-5748 or smartterm.com.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show, and let me ask, the Keystone Cops try to get in a radio studio today, so all I know, and the only information I have, getting through the phone from the man referred to as the greatest communicator known to mankind,
Ronald
is
Reagan?
Is a voicemail from Ponyboy, and oh, there's the picture of it. I see. Is that Oscar trying to get into the?
It is
lock
indeed.
studio?
It is.
Would you
indeed.
boys care? Would you boys care to tell me exactly what happened?
I'd
today?
love to tell you a story, Mike.
All right, go ahead, Oscar.
So yesterday, I arrived to do Tech 411, and as you know, it was a federal holiday. But the Mike O'Mara Show works hard every day. Right?
Yes, we do. We try to bring you a new show every day.
So
Yeah, we didn't. We had a little vignette at the beginning, just a little Columbus Day tribute, but no corporate holidays for this
The big
crew.
show works on holidays, right?
That's right. Even with our storied Italian heritage, Mike.
We
we're
might
not
want
going
to back
observe
off that as we get into November and December. Okay, just back off
know
that.
if that's gonna
That'll
work.
bite us in the ass. That'll bite us in the ass. Go ahead.
So we did a show, and I said, guys, I'll be back to do Tech 411. We've been on track every Monday,
right?
I'll see you guys later. Make sure you lock up before I leave. I arrived to the studio. It's dark around 7:30. We're set to record around 8:30. Want to get here an hour early to set up, get good to go for Tech 411.
Sure, fluoridate all the water.
I walk through the foyer here and then into the conference room that leads to our office/studio.
People should know that there is a common area, like
Yes.
a conference room with a conference table,
Yes.
and you must go through that to get to our nook, our broadcast
Yeah, if
nook.
there were strategically, if we wanted to secure our studio,
Yes.
if it was not a wide open studio, we would have tremendous checkpoints. You get a checkpoint at the door coming off the elevator. You get a checkpoint in the outer office. You get a checkpoint
there should
at the
be
conference
multiple
room.
checkpoints. And
Exactly.
speaking
Right.
of checkpoints,
Exactly.
you should turn off your Wi-Fi because something's going on with your signal. Shockingly enough.
Oh no! Really? Well, I thought after everything was fixed, I was able to not have to do that.
As soon as you turned it off, it's A-OK again.
Aces again, Mike.
Aces again. Maybe they're working on it right now, Mike. Look outside. Who knows?
I'm going to do that.
Please.
All right. So there are multiple checkpoints.
Yeah.
And if they're not, I'm not coming back.
Well, to be fair, it has been a good run. We do
One
appreciate
day.
it.
Mike had somebody come out to his house on Saturday, and I talked to the gentleman, and Mike talked to the gentleman, and then on Sunday we tested it. Apparently there was a bad line that was installed when Mike's house in Florida was built.
Well, when Mike's house in Florida was built, there really wasn't a lot of internet.
It was made out of yarn.
The line that they installed connected to a rotating antenna in the attic so he could get channel 9. You'd hit the button and go, boo.
So they told Mr. O'Mara that they would be back out this week to swap out the temporary line.
Right, and really sort of bring him into the 20th century.
With a high-grade 21st century line.
He was using the kind of cable to get to the internet that I used to get HBO in 1980.
Aha!
Aha!
What's going on? Are they out there?
Nope.
Oh. No.
But
Well-
you sound good, though.
Does it sound all right now?
You sound great now. Just
you
don't
don't.
surf the web. Okay. So we
That
get,
sucks. I really wish I could.
well,
But we'll do the Bluetooth thing. I'll
yeah,
do
we
that.
can't
Exactly.
have everything.
The hotspot, right.
I'll say I get to the conference room door. I jiggle the lock, and I'm like, oh, well, the handle won't turn. I didn't even know there was a lock on this thing.
When it didn't open, was that your first clue to the fact that the door was locked?
Yes.
Yes.
I tried.
Hey, what did I miss?
We just set you up on how you're getting new cable.
Yes.
You're getting new
Well, oh,
cable
yeah, yeah,
line to
yeah.
your house.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
we just set it up.
and
Okay.
Mac told the greatest jokes.
Oh, you don't even know. He killed. Okay.
That's what you missed.
I find out it's locked. I try all the keys I have. It's locked. Nobody has anything. I call Pony. I say, Pony, what's the situation with the conference room door locked? It's never been locked in the year we've been here.
Right.
We're coming up on our year anniversary in this office. And he says, I don't know. And I said, well, what would you guess? Who would have closed that door and made sure it was locked when they left? He said,
Right.
well, I think Rob Ford did it. And I said, okay. Well, I got nothing now. You guys have boned me sideways. Get here tomorrow morning early to see if we can figure out who has a key to this place. Someone must have a key,
Of
right?
course. I mean, we work along other office workers, and there's a maintenance fellow.
Yes. Pony calls me this morning at 9:30, and he texts me. He says nobody has the key to this.
9:30. The
Yes.
important thing is
Yes,
9:30.
And I text him back.
The early arrival time. Why 9:30? Because
text
nothing
him.
changes when you live in the land of sloth routine.
I text him. I said, "Did you just get there?" And then I call him because I'm pissed at this point.
Right.
I say, "Hey man, I thought you said early." He goes, "I was here 15 minutes ago." And I said, "Well, 15 minutes ago would be 9:15. That is not early when you're locked out of your studio."
To be fair, that would have been early in Hawaii.
True. That does make sense.
So, I mean, just so you know.
I gave him a good talking to, and I said, "Okay,
A dressing down?
I'm going to get moving here and get to the studio." And on my way there, I said, and in my mind, this is how it played out, Mike. I said, "Okay, Rob's probably there." I texted Pony to let you know what was going on. I said, "Okay, what are the odds that these guys get in before I get there?" And there's a part of me that says they're going to be in. I'm going to walk upstairs, and it's like, oh, high fives. And
so I
Okay.
cannot even tell you how stunned I am.
Stunned.
That this happened last night.
Yes.
That this was already known, and that we went into the fire drill, and we're starting our taping almost an hour after we're supposed to tape it.
I
and
agree.
I'm exaggerating. It's more like a half an hour. But boy, oh boy.
Well, I didn't know
Oh,
until
my
I got
God.
in today. I saw a sign, and I did have a plan that Oscar hated. Oscar hated and detested this plan.
because
On my voicemail from Pony, I heard Locksmith.
Yes,
What the
it's-
hell? And I heard Locksmith at let me see when I got it. I think I got it about right around 9:30. That we're calling a locksmith. I'm like, a locksmith.
Well, I mean,
Jesus.
at that option, that was the option I
Mike-
came up with. I found a locksmith, Mike, that would come out for a nominal fee. A nominal fee, at least to come out and assess the situation. And I told this to Oscar, and he said, F that, we're not effing F, FFC,
Tell him the
FFCF.
plan. Tell him the plan in your lollipop world. What happens when the guy shows up?
Well, it's a $15 service call to assess the situation, and then the fee starts at $30. And I thought,
Yeah, but you're also damaging the property of a building you don't own.
not necessarily, because this guy.
I mean, we don't. That conference room is not ours.
You should
Our
have seen
lease
this guy,
begins
Mike.
when you open the studio door. Did you get a locksmith to come in
You
here
should
today?
have. This guy looked like he knew what he was doing.
So,
I
Rob,
think that he probably might have increased the value.
I think I might have raised my voice to Rob when I first of all, Pony tells me they're calling a locksmith. I said we're not spending $300 to unlock that door or get a new lock, a new key made.
And the thing that Oscar yelled at me, and this is the thing that I didn't call him on because he was irate. He said, "Have you ever had to call a locksmith because you locked yourself out?" No, I've had to do it 4 times. And what I wanted to say was, well, maybe after the first time you should have learned your lesson. But I said
Wrong timing, Mike. Wrong
but
timing,
but the
man.
timing was right because I did not say it.
But this is the problem, Rob. When you see a problem, you look for the easiest solution. There's no
Okay.
thinking
This is
outside the
true.
box.
This
Here
is
we
true.
go.
There's no
Oh,
questions
dear.
of how can we do
it's
this.
so nice to
outside-
sit on the sidelines during
outside
one
of
of these.
paying a company money to fix a problem.
Did I ever once say company money?
No, but
So
of course
F you.
No, please.
Oh,
like the
bull
company
F.
wasn't going to pick
No,
up
it
this
wasn't
tab.
gonna do
You'd have
it.
to call Karen
It
before
wasn't
the
gonna
money
do it.
came through.
Oh, I was
please.
gonna
we
take
could argue
care of
about
it.
this all day long, but the bottom line is we really should fire Rob Ford
Yeah, I agree.
for locking the door.
Well, no,
I mean,
so
he's,
that's
he's
he's not.
But the
it's
truth,
their
Mike,
fault.
the truth lies in the middle. Well, I try to do things apparently the easy way. Oscar does it in a way that is a science fiction film. Because he comes out of his car and produces coat hangers, yarn, and duct tape.
On the way out of my home, I said, if I
Doesn't the bald guy have a key?
no, he doesn't.
As a matter of fact, the master key to the building
Doesn't open
does
that
not
door.
open that
Yeah,
door.
Doesn't open that door.
We actually had the
Well, that
gentleman
lock
who runs
got to
the-
be taken off. then.
should be.
Oh, clearly.
Nobody
Absolutely.
should be able to
But
lock it, period.
that's not going to help us before showtime, right?
Right.
So
exactly.
we need to get in here. We could probably say, hey, if we were lazy, we could say, hey, we're not going to do this until you fix this lock and put it on them, but then we don't have a show.
Is that lazier than calling a locksmith? I just want to know how
no,
it
that's
works
more
in your
responsible.
science fiction
No,
world.
but Rob, would it be fair that you never think outside the box? Would you have thought to do what I did today?
I didn't think it was possible. However, I will say this, my dear fun fellow, that when I saw you begin your process, I knew you would work. I knew it would work.
Thank you.
And
Confidence.
I said it to the people.
Okay, so what's the process? How did he get in?
So on the way out, I said, if these jerks call a locksmith, because I was thinking ahead of them, it's going to cost us $300 because
Yes.
I've been down that road. I'm going to grab 3 hangers from the dry cleaner on the way out, some duct tape, and some yarn.
Meanwhile, I sat at the front desk in the lobby,
some
Mike.
chewing gum, and some silly putty.
I sat at the front desk and I said, how wonderful it must be to not always be outthought. Because, I mean, really, what would my crazy solution just would have gotten us in. That's all.
That would have
That's how
cost the
crazy it is.
company
let's
money.
It
bring,
was not going to be a company expense. It was going to be my treat.
Easy to say that now, my friend.
Yeah,
Let's
is
bring
easy.
Matt Bloom into this equation here. Matt Bloom.
Sure. Sorry.
So you were tasked last night with kind of dealing with this morning, correct?
You got it. You got it. I was aiming to get here at 9. Of course, traffic was kind of crappy.
okay.
Got in at
All
like
right.
9:10, 9:15, and started.
So what
running
did
around.
you in your nicotine-addled brain? What did you think was
Gin-addled,
going to
Mike.
happen?
It was gin-addled.
Gin and nicotine-addled brain. What did you think as you were driving in today? What were you processing? How were you thinking you were going to? Because obviously the door was going to be locked when you arrived at 9 o'clock, and then 9:15 because you weren't there. Because you were asked to get there early, and you got there 15 minutes early. Did you think that? What did you think was going to happen?
I figured, all right, I got to get in touch with the building or with our office manager and see if he has a key, and he did not. And then he called his manager, the building owner, and she didn't even pick up. And right around that time, Rob showed up, and then the whole Locksmith
So you did
thing
everything
started.
basically starting at 9:15.
Mhm.
You make
You
any
got it.
calls on your drive in at all? Think maybe get a little jump on it since you weren't going to be there early. That maybe you could start the process, or do you think maybe magically the door would have been open? Did you hope against hope for that?
Did
Well,
you think
I
there
don't
was a
know.
chance that the door might have been open when we got here?
Well, of course, but I mean, it obviously wasn't. I mean,
This is true, Mike.
Yeah, well, thank you, Captain Obvious. We do know the door was not open.
He's telling the story like Pulp Fiction. It's out of order.
Yes.
that's why I like it.
So basically, you arrived at 9:15, saw the door was locked, and the whole thing began at that point.
Yeah, started talking to people.
And hold on,
someone-
I'm just trying to get some facts here. Just doing my little my impromptu military investigation here. So, and you were notified that the door was locked and no one had a key at approximately what time?
That would be last night when Oscar was
What
coming
time?
in to do.
What
Tech
time?
411. Oh,
About what
geez.
time?
About 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Let's
8
say
o'clock.
7:30.
Okay. So do the math, Rob. We've got 9 o'clock last night. I'm not a
14-hour
mathematician.
turnaround.
14 hours. We had
7:30
this
to 9:30,
knowledge.
yes.
We had this knowledge that this door was locked for 14 hours.
And Mike, if I would like to express it in this way, 14 hours is roughly
Hammerheads!
is roughly 2 good nights sleep. It's
Right.
it's enough to sleep twice.
Exactly.
So it's a
Exactly.
lengthy amount of time. 14
Has
hours.
anyone been in contact with Rob Ford as
Yes.
to and what did he say?
He was very apologetic. And
Oh, so he
upset
did
about
lock the door. It was his fault.
It was, unfortunately.
And what, it was just a force of habit that he's obsessive compulsive.
Well,
he's
you
a
should never lock
door
that
locker.
door.
or
I've
what?
never locked that.
We've never locked that door. I think
Yeah.
if I had to think like Rob Ford, I would say that because the building was closed yesterday, he was being extra safe and making
Yeah.
sure everything
Yes.
was locked.
Well,
But you know what? It's unfortunate that he was that safe.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And the thing is, there are multiple layers of fault here all the way along. First of all, somebody ought to have a goddamn key that runs this building in D.C.
True.
to that conference room.
Absolutely.
And I bet somebody does.
Yes.
Somebody has to have that key.
Clearly.
Somebody that
Yes.
who Oscar, we've
I'm sure we could
maybe
find
what have
it-
we used it twice since we've had the building?
When
really?
when we give someone an hour heads up and it's a big building, I didn't think we would find a key. You know, I didn't. There was no point at that point. If they don't have a key on them or on their desk drawer, I didn't think we'd get some. I'm sure
Is
we
the
could get one.
headhunters? Is it the headhunters that have the key? Do you
No,
think,
no,
or-
no. It would be I think the owners of the building probably have a key.
Oh, I would think
Right.
the superintendent. The superintendent was shocked that he did not have
Well,
a key
who's the
himself.
guy with the dog?
Well, he's the guy. The guy's his main office. That's not his job. He
Oh,
has
it's not.
keys.
But you're leasing the space from him.
Yes, yes. And the
Okay,
building
all
is who he's leasing it from.
You
We're
know,
subleasing.
we did not ask
Can't
the
blame
dog.
him. I really want to blame people.
I wish
It's
we
not
could
hard,
ask
you know.
the dog didn't have a key.
Well,
Tater didn't
Mike,
have a
if
key.
anything,
Tater.
the happy days are here because we figured out how to get in these offices without.
How did
paying
you
a dollar.
ultimately get into the office?
Ah, yes, this is good.
I brought 3, but I only needed 2 dry cleaning hangers, wire hangers. I used duct tape to secure them together.
I asked him, Mike, I said, what are wire hangers doing in this closet?
When I told you no wire hangers ever.
That's right. Answer me. I said.
So I put duct tape on the top. I looped the top of to make a hook over the wire hanger.
Right.
I put duct tape around it so when it actually stuck to the handle, it wouldn't slide off.
It had some drag.
And then I went across the street to the hardware store and got some twine or string, and then attached it with a hook at the top, and then pulled the string. Once I attached it, I shimmied underneath the door, wedged it up, got it over the handle, pulled it together, and then it opened right up.
You know what? That was easier than his first plan, which was actually to turn into vapor and go under the door.
Well, that's funny, Shecky, but let me just say, once again, he's the little thorn in my side that gives me more stress than any of you. But, that's why when we're out at sea, I'm pushing the rest of you fuckers out of the boat.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Honey, please, you gotta get dressed for me now, please.
No, Agador. Victoria Page will not dance the dance of the red shoes tonight. Victoria Page is dead. Do you know how she died?
How?
Alone, weeping for her lover.
Oh, no.
Albert! Ah! Come on, Albert, open up, baby. Come on.
Get out!
Open it, Albert. Open it. Come on.
Go away! Ah! I'm calling 911!
Are you trying to ruin me?
Don't look at me. I'm hideous. Oh.
There is a packed house out there.
That's all I am to you, isn't it? A meal ticket. Never mind about my suffering. It's just about your show. Well, I want a palimony agreement, and I want one now.
Well, I don't have a palimony agreement on me right now. Is tomorrow all right?
Don't use that tone to me.
What tone?
That sarcastic, contemptuous tone that means you know everything because you're a man, and I know nothing because I'm a woman.
You're not a woman.
Oh, you bastard. Whatever I am, he made me. I was adorable once. Now, look at me. I'm this short, fat, insecure, middle-aged thing.
I made you short?
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Cabby Fiber Studios and heard worldwide. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are powered by Encore Insurance Services with over 25.5 million downloads. Heard daily at MikeO'MaraShow.com and exclusively over the air on the mighty 1630 KCJJ in the heart of the Heartland. Go Hawks!
Right here, Mike. Right here.
Well,
Number
now you know.
four. Now you
Right
know.
after the Maori Fire Eaters, the waltzing. All right, go ahead.
Number 4, freshman defensive back Miles Sullivan. Right here.
Oh, a fine Irishman playing in the back. Well, perhaps not. Anyway, the Mike O'Mara Show is a daily podcast and radio show with the greatest listeners on the planet. Why?
Pourquoi?
Because they get it. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. You know, when he's not locking doors, he's actually quite the general manager, and we were 1-1 this week. 2 different leagues on FanDuel.com. It's time to leave all the problems with players that you have, and they go down for the season, and you're screwed. No, you can do it every single week at FanDuel.com. I'm talking about fantasy football. Leave your problems with other leagues behind and get a brand new team every week with FanDuel.com. Every week is a brand new week, and I play for real money. FanDuel.com. I want to be like Matt Nichols from Ohio. He turned $25 into over $25,000 by playing fantasy football at FanDuel. FanDuel.com has no season-long commitment, no upfront fees. Entry fees start at just $1, and the money is real. FanDuel is paying out more than $10 million every single week this NFL season. So get started today and win. Just click the microphone in the upper right-hand corner and use the code TMOS. The first 50 to use the TMOS code get their deposit matched up to $200. That's up to $200 free dollars. This offer ends soon. FanDuel.com, where every week is a new season. That's FanDuel.com. Sign up today and check it out. You'll have as much fun as we do every single week. I almost lost it during the middle of that commercial just thinking about it's just the Keystone Cops. It's always an adventure. It's always an incredible, fun adventure, it just cracks me up. It really does. And we all have our strengths, and everybody cares. But it's funny because Oscar shows up, and I just picture you and Ponyboy sitting outside of the studio, Rob, and it just makes me
Mike,
laugh.
if you want to know what we were doing, it's funny that you would bring it up because today we actually dressed like young children in the Depression, ragamuffins. And Pony was in an oversized sweater. I was in an undersized T-shirt, and we sat on the stoop, and we had our hands on our fists, and we were just stewing. We were sad. But we hoped that Mr. Roosevelt would pull us out of this situation.
But I mean, ultimately, it's funny because. I didn't until the end of the story. When he started going off on you, I had no idea why he was going off on you and Ponyboy at the beginning. And then the story comes to an end, and ultimately, as much because really, right now, especially, the incident of a few weeks ago that Oscar's forgotten that I remember every single day of my life.
Do you think you remember it because
I look for opportunities to now. Liberally, it won't last probably past Halloween, but I look for plenty of opportunities right now to throw him under the bus as often as I can because it gives me some feeling of sick satisfaction. But, I love him, but I want to screw him.
Sure.
So anyway, but then
not
he tells
literally,
the story.
You don't want to make love to him, do you?
No, I don't want to make love to him. But he tells the story, and then he gets to the end of the story, and suddenly the clouds part, and I see the light, and I see why he was frustrated and giving you guys all the crap because he does MacGyver it.
Right.
He does have the energy to go across the street to the hardware store, and you guys are going to call a locksmith. And it's funny. I mean, it's just funny that the way that we're now you're
all
a handy.
different.
I don't know about Pony, Rob. I know you. You're not a non-handy person.
But
you're probably handier than I am.
But I'm not crafty. And what he did was crafty. And you have to admit it is because you know what? I have broken it. Remember in the days when you could break into an automobile with a hanger? You would just swing it down and you'd grab the thing and pull it up. Those days are gone because I think the window seal is tighter and the button is no longer just a lift up thing. So I could maybe see doing that. But Oscar was going the other way, and not just with a coat hanger. He was like Sherry Lewis with a marionette. There was strings pulling in one direction and another, and it was really quite impressive.
Now,
but I do think it is at a level that I could not do.
Oh, on my end, I initially tried with the hanger. And
you started with just a hanger.
There's a problem. I said, you know what? I need a string. I'm going to go across the street and pick up some string.
Exactly.
There is an answer. I'm not there. I'm down here in South Florida.
Yes.
If I had been there, now there is a
if
proper
you had been
answer.
Here,
there's a proper answer.
The down.
No, there's a proper answer to how I would have handled it. I would not have been crafty. I would not have been handy. I would not have called the locksmith. There would have been a way that I would have handled it. Does anybody have the?
Yeah, it's brute force.
You know.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. He knows me. And there's where he is. That's where he excels. He knows me. I know me.
We caught one lucky break today, and you know what? This show has not been posted yet, and tomorrow is promised to no one. But the one lucky break we caught today is that Mike was not here in the building for this incident.
Very true.
Because he would have broken through the door.
Okay, I know the door you're talking about. It's solid, but it's not ridiculously solid.
Yeah, but it's got glass in the middle. It's got glass in the middle.
I would have lasted maybe 7 or 8 minutes, and then force would have been, and it would have been. I wouldn't have kicked it. I would have used the shoulder probably. That probably would have.
Would you have taken out the door frame or the glass?
Probably the frame. Probably the frame because it looks like it's a relatively solid door.
It is a solid wooden frame.
It just would have cost a fortune.
It would have, yeah. And then he would have beaten.
And you would have.
I've been so
shaking
mad.
your head and looked at
That's our lucky break. Every Mike was away.
Every dollar counts, gentlemen.
It does.
Let's remember that.
It does.
I have I lived in my house in Manassas for a very, very long period of time, and your partner in crime, Katie Forbes, Von Herman, Sacco, and Vanzetti, would be able to tell you the story when I believe it may have been Officer Jerky.
I believe Veazey was there.
It was Jason Veazey. It was Jason Veazey.
Yes.
Jason Veazey and Katie and myself coming back to our house, And it was late at night, and I said, "Come over." You remember when I used to invite everybody over to the sun porch because I didn't want the party to end. Many like 3, 4 in the morning nights there where we just were lingering, didn't want the party to end. And I couldn't get into the house. And so I could get onto the sun porch, and there was a broken, cracked pane of glass for the sun porch door forever, where I put my shoulder into it, and it's just a brute force.
Now, if you were able to remove
I've been locked out of more things than you guys would ever imagine.
When you removed that small pane of glass and you had to find someone who was tiny that could get through, who was nominated? Was it you? Was it VZ? Or was it Katie?
Who shimmies through that?
It's craziness. Hey, we didn't say it yesterday. Let me say it today. Speaking of drinking, my old buddy Jimmy Cerrito, I want to say happy birthday, Jimmy. Happy birthday, Jimmy. I hope
said
you had
happy
a wonderful
birthday, Jimmy, yesterday.
Oh, you said happy birthday, but I didn't.
No,
I just made a snide comment about the fact
him like he wasn't
your
your
friend.
friend.
I dismissed him like he was trolling.
He was trolling.
Because Jimmy trolls like the way he does
He's such
everything.
a lovable guy, though.
He's but
lovable
deep
troll.
down, I'm the only one that knows that Jimmy ultimately is. I love the man. I have socialized with the man. I have gone on lengthy road trips on multiple occasions with the man. But I will also tell you that within his soul, once you get past all the community service and all the good works that he does and the wonderful food that he provides for everybody, is an attention whore of attention whores.
You can say that, Mike, but if that was true, he would never put the microphone down in his own bar.
He is so crazy. And his post, Rob, if I've got it right yesterday, was,
what was it?
I made it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, he made what? It's Jimmy's birthday. Let's shower him now with that. And, this is probably after they had some sort of celebration out there at his joint.
His Old Town Tavern?
Jimmy's Old Town Tavern.
This is the Old Town Tavern that is owned by Jimmy, and it is Jimmy's Old Town Tavern.
How old did Jimmy turn? Maybe it's a big birthday.
No, I think
Jimmy.
I
remember Jimmy being in his late 40s, probably.
I think he's
mid to late 40s,
47, 48. While we're on birthdays and while we find,
can we
Jimmy's
call
age,
Jimmy? Can we call Jimmy from the studio? Can we do that and get Jimmy on the line? Because that's always a real show.
You know who else is having a birthday today?
Who's that?
Is my dear sweet mother.
Oh, can we call her?
Yeah, we could actually.
Let's take a break. And
right.
when we come back, Oscar, you got to do the Vistaprint here, so I want to give you a heads up on that. And when we come back, we will we'll talk to hopefully Sharon and Jimmy Cerrito, Rob's mom, and Jimmy Cerrito. We'll be right back. This is the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hey now, do you own a small business? You know how that is. It's a lot of work. But right now, Vistaprint.com, if you want to get business cards, you can get 500 of them for just $9.99 when you enter the promo code TMOS at checkout. Again, that's $9.99 for 500 business cards. Vistaprint makes it easy, and as you know, we've gotten all our business cards here for the TMOS Tech 411 show, and we took them out to CES. They're beautiful.
Yes.
And for $9.99, you cannot beat that deal. I've bought business cards from all around the country, and they cost more, and they aren't as great as Vistaprint's. I can tell you that from experience.
Would you be personally grateful, Oscar, if people got their cards at Vistaprint?
I would
be a personal favor to you?
If you guys did this for the show, and you got your
wonderful
business cards for $9.99, 500 of them using the code TMOS at Vistaprint.com. Again, Vistaprint.com, use the code TMOS. Do it today.
Vistaprint. It's Vistaprint. Vistaprint.com.
We have to send this over then, you jerk.
with a T, correct?
Vistaprint.
Exactly.
Vistaprint.com.
Am I saying it wrong?
No, you're fine. Everything's okay? Everything's just fine.
Jerks.
Well, then fine. Thank you very much. We know Reno.
And we know that you're going to have the time of your life at CAT 2014.
Saturday, November 15th in the Mandalay Ballroom at Circus Circus in Reno.
It's an all-new Mike O'Mara Show live.
A live show, up close and personal.
Plus an exclusive after party for all the ticket holders.
Come on out and laugh at us and then hang with us.
And if you were wondering about a whore package upgrade,
this time everyone who buys a ticket is automatically eligible for backstage access.
10 lucky folks will win a pair of backstage passes for a pre-show drink with us.
Buy a ticket and you're eligible.
Everybody's a whore at CAT 2014.
Get your tickets by dialing 1-800-648-5010.
That's 1-800-648 5010.
The Mike O'Mara Show live.
Made possible by Encore Insurance Services.
We'll see you there.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. You know, you need life insurance, but you haven't bought it yet. I want to ask you a question. Why? No more excuses. Today's the day. And Encore will make it easy for you. They're part of our big show out in Reno. Encore surveys the top companies in the insurance industry to compare premiums. It's fast. It's easy. There is no obligation, no salesman, and it's free. Just call toll-free 866-347-5748 to get a free life insurance quote or visit smartterm.com. That's where you'll find the license, disclaimer, and quality customer service. Encore Insurance Services, LLC. Check them out as a favor to us, but mostly for yourself. Please do it today. Welcome back to the show. So we're going to try to do something we do rarely. We're going to get a couple of people on the line here. Now, Jimmy Cerrito is always Jimmy Cerrito, and I don't think
That's true,
we've
Mike.
spoken to Jimmy Cerrito with the Florida skip and the DC skip and the Skype skip. This could be amazingly challenged. Rob, I will use the same sound effect that I use when you play some music on the audio vault that I'm not fond of. You will hear this.
So at any time, Jimmy is on borrowed time.
Now, Oscar, when I do that to our good friend, and I'm not saying I'm going to have.
I got it.
Hold on, I'm giving you Jimmy now.
I'm not going to say I'm going to have to do it, but we'll see what happens.
Is that Jimmy's
Let's
number?
See.
Jimmy's cell, yeah.
Okay, let's
Let's
call Jimmy.
see
Jimmy, the odds
what happens.
are that he is not going to answer, but we'll figure that out.
Do you think
for
he
now.
is at his Old Town Tavern, Mike?
No, God, no. But he's probably waking up.
He's got to be waking up, right?
He's nocturnal. He's nocturnal, but he does things during the day if there's television involved, or if he's got to be with Annie U somewhere, he'll do that.
Yeah, but he's not prepared for this media event.
No, he's not. He's not prepared. But this is the belated birthday call that we will give.
I
him,
think
and
we should guess his age. I think he's 47.
47.
I'll say
fair.
47. Also, I'm going to agree with you on
48.
that. I think it's 40.
He's taking the over. Oscar's taking the over on the 20.
All right, let's see what happens as we call the one and only King of Wings in Northern Virginia, and another wing contest going on now. Let's call Jimmy Cerrito.
Jimmy Cerrito.
If he doesn't answer, maybe we could speak to MDC.
Will he
Who's that?
disappoint?
Maureen Donahue Cerrito.
No, I don't think we're going to be doing that.
Oh.
Don't think that'll happen. She's a little camera shy. It's very interesting.
It's like the.
Now, remember, his answering machine is always like you've reached him.
Hold on a second.
We're going to try
having
again.
little some issues. Yes,
Maybe his
always.
phone is inebriated.
Sounded like a drunk phone.
It sounded like he
didn't
was hammered, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to switch to the better network.
Maybe his phone, the charger cable, is soaked overnight in some sort of free vodka from a salesman. We're endorsing this vodka this week.
Better network.
Ah, that's right.
Nice and quick.
Mike, I've got a
Boom, bam.
really good feeling about this.
I do too. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I think he's going to be great. He's going to be alert.
Great. It's going to be great. Great.
He's had a few bites of cake.
Jimmy, wake up.
Jimmy.
Let's see what happens.
Jimmy.
Every chance in the
we've
world.
done this before, and he usually misses the call.
Yeah.
You got to leave a message, though.
Yeah, we should leave him a message.
Yes, absolutely.
Hi, thanks for calling. This is Jimmy. Leave me a message. I'll get back to you. Ciao.
Ciao. What?
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Happy birthday to you.
Gross.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. King of the Wings. This is the Mike O'Mara Show with a belated birthday greeting for James Cerrito. Hopefully everything's going well. We know you're in another wing battle, and this is your birthday present from us. We're calling to tell you another missed opportunity on the Mike O'Mara Show to promote your business.
Yeah, you were going to give the address and the phone number, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
If he answered.
Thank you. If he answered, but unfortunately he didn't, so go get some wings somewhere else. Thank you very much. Bye, Jimmy.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
There you go.
Okay.
Now, do you want to try your mom?
right.
Yeah, you know what? I spoke to her on the way in. She should answer. She's at the office today. She has a job.
Very, very good. We
Yes.
rarely have Rob's mom on the phone. This is gonna be
Which
very
is odd
special.
because she loves it so.
Does she hate? Does she really hate
No,
it?
she'll be shy and guarded. I just want to warn you. She's not
Well,
as
that's
gregarious
my mom's
as my
shy
dad.
and guarded. All our moms are shy and guarded.
Not gregarious like my father.
Is your mom shy and guarded in her Bolivian
no,
way?
no.
Austin?
She'll yell at you.
She'll yell at you.
Yeah, she likes yelling.
Hey, right now she's not recognizing the number, so she's slow to answer.
Medical staff, this is Sharon.
Happy birthday to the best mom in the world!
Happy birthday, Rob's mom. How are you?
Aw, thank you.
We decided we haven't had you on the show for a long time. Have we ever had your mom on the show, Rob?
Well, no, remember we had her on when we were on terrestrial, and she swore so much that we just couldn't have her back. Her legendarily
I never did.
Well, we just wanted to say happy birthday. Hope you have a wonderful birthday. I want to say personally, thank you for giving us your son. He is a tribute to the world.
He's a creative lad.
That's right.
He is a very, very creative lad. And
that's very, very, very sweet of you to call. And yeah, he's one of my favorite people too.
That's wonderful, and we are very, very happy. I hope you have a wonderful day. Anything special planned for your birthday, Sharon?
If there is, it'll be a surprise for me.
So
that's a message to you, son.
Hint, hint.
That's a message to you.
I think that might fall on her husband's shoulders. So, Dave, you got a few hours to get that worked out, so best wishes.
All right, well, happy birthday, Sharon. Have a wonderful birthday day.
Thanks, Mike and gang, very much.
Care.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Ciao.
There she goes.
Bye.
See, Jimmy Cerrito, take a lesson from
She's
my
so-
mother.
Hey, did you
I'm
not
jealous.
get anything for your mom?
No, I'm sending her flowers.
But that's when are you doing that?
They'll be there when she gets home
that's
tonight.
sweet of
yeah.
you. That's very nice.
I went through Pro Flowers and I used. Did you know that the TMOS code
Still works. It does.
Yeah, boy.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Everybody gets
Way
a
to get
present
the plugs.
today. Yeah,
Way
that's right.
to get the plugs in there. Rob, it's been a festive, place of the Spiwax have had all sorts of fun things going on.
Yes.
You've had anniversaries, you've had birthdays,
And
for
the fun never
kids
stops.
and-
Do you know what happens this weekend?
yes.
I'll be spending the weekend with a man named Jerry Lewis.
Oh my God! Are you
Yes.
bringing the recorder? Are
Yes,
you bringing
of
the
course,
DAT recorder
of course.
with you?
I want to, because Mike, if the past is any indicator of the future, he'll be performing with an orchestra, and there's nothing like Jerry singing.
If you remember, Mike,
Oh,
Rofo tried to book Jerry on the show, but his comic book store PR guy.
It's not a comic book store. He's a magician. Rick Sapphire.
His magician representative said that he wasn't doing any press because Jerry doesn't need it.
Mike, you see,
Oh,
Jerry,
my
in the past,
God.
Jerry has had bigger representation. I think Jerry might have actually been with William Morris in the day, but now he's represented by a man in New Jersey who had quite a storied career as a magician. His name is Rick Sapphire.
Oh, hi there. I'm Rick Sapphire.
You don't know how
Yes.
close you are.
How are you?
Mr.
The name
Lewis.
is Sapphire. Rick Sapphire.
Mr.
Thank you.
Lewis doesn't know what a podcast
no,
is.
no. Are you radio?
What is it,
New
radio?
York? He only does New York.
He does New York. He'll talk to Shannon. He'll talk to John Gambling, and that's it.
Why is he doing
So-
Newport News? Well,
I
no
have
one
to
said
ask
he would
you,
take him.
yesterday you were posting a picture of you and Carrie, and I will tell you something. I have never seen a picture where you looked more like Chaz Bono
Yes.
than you did yesterday.
And I
went,
appreciate
and what
it.
can I ask the thread? Why the thread? We have hate on the show, and we butt heads, and we get 5 million people commenting. I put that thread up there yesterday. Well, I'm going to ask you a technical Facebook question,
All right,
and
all
then I'm
right.
going to ask you about the general thread. I made the mistake. I wanted, when I do stuff like I put the dancing Oscar up on Facebook,
Right.
or I put Rob looks like Chaz Bono. I know that's going to get a big laugh, but I want to also promote the Cat 2014 appearance, so I put that up there. Yesterday, I put the post up and then took it down right away because I wanted to retool it a little bit.
Sure.
Does that diminish the post when you do that? When
No.
you do a last minute
No.
correction?
If it's right after, not really. But if you've posted for a little while and then repost, it kind of
Yeah, what you need to
It
do
affects
if
its
you
luster.
have to change it, do it right away or use the edit feature. The edit feature will allow it to stay up and keep the original comments with it, but then you can change what it needs to say.
Oh, I get that. Okay, I get it. So I didn't do that, but I was
And to be
stunned.
fair-
Then I was stunned that I thought that was AAA phenomenal comedy material, and that I would get a lot of people just would join in and pile on. And I was really disappointed. I
To
was
be fair,
really disappointed.
it might have
You
been the
posted a
construction
picture
of
of
the
me when
joke.
it gets 750 comments.
It might have been the construction of the joke, Mike.
It's your
because
subject matter.
To be
What do you
fair,
mean it's
not
up?
me looking like Chaz Bono. It's Chaz Bono starting to look like me, and that's what's
You're
happened
right.
over the years.
You're absolutely
Chaz
right.
Bono is becoming me. I'm Steady Eddie, baby. I've always
That
looked
is a
like
young
this.
picture of you, also. That you
Yeah, I couldn't place it. The event,
but
it
the
was some time
primary
ago.
reason it was the sideburns. Chaz Bono has those PUX sideburns, and I was just really disappointed that nobody piled on that.
Is it
I
a
couldn't
public
believe it.
post?
Yeah, and
it was a public post.
I tried to share it, and I think maybe it was a deal with privacy settings because Mike's verbiage did not transfer with the picture. Have you ever seen that?
I've
where
seen
you
that.
share a post or something?
Yeah, but Mike, you
Oh,
shouldn't
so Mike, my comment didn't. What happened?
I tried to share it, and your comment didn't come with it. So I said, "Well, you know what? F this." Because
You shouldn't weigh how funny or how great your post was on how many comments or likes you get.
It was the post I was most proud of since I had the little Indian boy dancing.
Yes.
And I posted, watch Oscar. It had very, very good moves when he was young. And those are the ones that I just said, I'm sitting
If
there
it's
typing as I'm putting that. I'm going,
You know what's gold for me? Anything with Mike Jr., little Michael.
Love that.
That'll give me a lot of hits.
Yeah, but see, that's not fun.
Yeah, but you're
though.
the star, baby.
Fun is when you put stuff up there, and like fun with. Wasn't there a statue of a guy some Italian Renaissance figure that there was a statue?
That looked like
might have been a
you.
pope that looked exactly like
my
me.
friend Kenny put that
People
up.
went out of their minds.
I
about
remember
it.
that.
But it was
like in a
about
church.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, you.
I'm telling you, you should just
anyway.
take selfies and put them up.
Oh, Mike, a selfie might be nice.
I'll take. You know what I'll do today? I'll take a selfie of my bag. That's exactly.
Oh,
what I'll
my
do.
God.
All right, we're going to take a break. When
Not
we come
safe
back,
for
ladies
work.
and gentlemen, we will talk to Rob Spiewak about the Renaissance Festival. I will tell you the story of a rarely reported crime that we actually reported to the police. We had a very, very disturbing moment at a grocery store down here in South Florida. And I'll tell you all about that when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. I am here to tell you they are up and they are looking fantastic. I'm a day early. I got my plantation shutters installed myself.
You did it?
Oh, you did
It was
it?
flawless.
Congrats.
It was perfect. It was
Cancel
easy.
your flight, Oscar.
It absolutely incredible. They went right into the spaces that I measured, and the measurements were perfect. The
Oh, it's
measurements
great.
were right. I cannot tell you how easy it is to install with blinds.com. Now, mine were shutters. You can do blinds, but they have a website that gives you the detailed instructions on how to do your particular project. Here come the holidays. It's time to get your home ready for family and friends with blinds.com. They offer all the top names at blinds.com to make your windows look their best, and they offer free samples so there's no guesswork. Plus, their sure fit guarantee means that installation is always a snap, and if you don't want to measure or install, there's no problem. Blinds.com can do that as well. You can save right now during October. Upgrade your home with new blinds from Blinds.com. You're going to be blown away by their prices. You can get 15 to 20% off select designer window treatments from top brands with a free cordless upgrade. Also, Norman brand products, including their child and pet safe designer shutters, are 20% off, plus free shipping on most orders. And remember, Blinds.com offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. Give your house a gift like I gave my house a gift. Be like me. Use Blinds.com, and you will love it. I promise
Good
you.
job,
Thank you.
man. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah, feeling pretty handy.
Yeah.
Feeling pretty handy, man. All right, before we get to Rob and the Meeting the King at the Renaissance Festival, I was going to tell this story. We had a lot of fun with Oscar yesterday. I didn't get around to it, but we go to the grocery store, I think, was it Sunday? Maybe it was Sunday. I'm not sure what day it was. It's called Fresh Market down here. It's kind of a relative of Whole
we
Paycheck.
know about it,
you know?
yeah.
A lot of produce. They have a lot of produce down
Hot
here.
cousin of Whole Paycheck.
Yeah, it's the hot cousin of Whole Paycheck.
Oh, so it's a step up.
Yeah.
Wow, look
and
at
it's
you.
I like
smaller.
the rhythm.
It's nice.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't have the same kind of tude that Whole Foods does, but it can have the tude.
Yeah, but she'll put out.
All those. All those specialty.
It really
grocery
doesn't make
stores.
sense. It's funny, but it doesn't make sense.
And the check's in the mail. We love you, Batman.
All right. Organic produce. All right.
So we'll go down there, and we go to the one that's north of where we live, not south. And I said, I'm not sure where it is. It's kind of a convoluted parking lot to drive around in.
Hey, like
and we
Wegmans.
finally get there, and we pull into the parking lot. We get out. Immediately, I look as I step out, and I see there. I come around the front of the car. It's the only reason I saw him. This old guy in the passenger side. Did I mention the temperature that day was probably 97 to 100 degrees? In the teeth of the day, indirect sunlight. It's really
Sippy.
it fluctuates down here dramatically, but you get used to the heat down here, so it's not that big a deal. But I look and I see there's an old guy, and he has on the front of him what appears to be. You see this sometimes with patients that have had some kind of throat surgery. He's got what appears to be one of these adult covers. I don't want to call it a bib, okay? I don't, but it is a bib basically. And
it's actually a lot
there.
like a hospital gown.
Yeah,
but
it's on the front,
yeah,
right? And then the first thing I noticed, I said, Carla, this car is not on. And he's sitting in the passenger side, and window is rolled down, but doesn't matter. As I've watched all those canine videos, and when you hear about windows being rolled down, really not mattering in direct sunlight, and it went so quickly. The thought process went so very quickly with me that I said immediately, I want to see if he's verbal.
Right.
Because if he's not verbal, we got a problem here. If he can't express himself, we've got a problem here. And Carla walks around to the passenger side, the windows rolled down, and she said, "Are you okay?" As soon as she asked that question, he ain't able to express himself.
Oh, boy.
He's not capable
Is he
of
napping?
speech. No, he's awake.
Oh, okay.
And that car, it is balls hot. I mean, ridiculously hot. And suddenly now you're put into a real dilemma. How far do you go?
Right.
What do you do with this situation? So Carla and I figure
was it an electric vehicle? They don't make noise.
no, it was a Honda.
Oh, okay.
It was a Honda with the engine, and I actually
also,
put my
you're
hand
probably
on the
you're battling with yourself. You don't want to overreact, but you also got to do something quick if you're going to do something.
that is the real dilemma. So the solution is we're going to run in. We're very close to the store, and we're going to run in and grab a manager. We grab a manager. Manager calls security. And that's where that's where things began to slow down because the security guy. That's where you're wondering. The windows rolled down, but a car can get up to whatever temperature, even with the windows rolled down,
right,
when it's that hot. And he's now, and it's a difficult situation. I'll be honest, it's a difficult situation. What's not a difficult situation is the complete a-hole that did this to start with, for whatever reason. And so at this point, the security guard comes over there, and he said something along the lines of, he seems to be okay. And I said, okay, he seems to be okay, but it's still...
That's not enough, man.
It's not enough.
No.
It's not enough. And I'm sitting there going, he can't express himself. He can't tell you if he, and for God knows how dehydrated the guy is. God knows what's going. And all of a sudden, it just becomes a thing. And the security guard behaving like a complete wuss in this situation, because the security guard, like many of the security people down here, is an old guy too, who doesn't want to really do his job. He just wants to ride around in his cart and collect his paycheck. That's what he wants to do. So at this point, Carla is starting to go into pit bull mode. Carla's starting to get, because Rob's absolutely right. You don't know whether at this moment you reach in and, do you pull the guy out of the car? It's not. The only thing that is preventing more urgency is because the window is completely rolled down. Yeah. And he has given me, I walked over it now, I said, "Are you okay?" And I put my thumb up, and he gave me kind of a half thumb up, so he did acknowledge that.
Thumbs up.
He gave me a thumbs up, so that's a good thing. But
that's
it doesn't matter.
That's a universal A-OK, man.
Yeah, because he might just be mimicking me. You don't know because he can't express himself.
You should have done like some wild breakdance move and see if he would have tried that.
Yeah, Mike, that's probably what you should have done.
I didn't know. We didn't know what to do.
Or jazz hands.
And what?
Both great.
And then the security guard. Then it's the dance begins to find the person who's with this old guy. You don't know how long the car's been there. You don't know how long the and I'm confused here because I'm sitting there going, okay, he's still, he looks okay.
Could you get him a water?
But it's hot. No, we did not get him a water. Oh. Nobody got him a water. Now that I think of that, that's great. At this point, right at about midway through this, a lady comes out. We're over by the store. This is being handled by the security guard, and the lady comes out. That we are later to find out is the caregiver. Ooh. And Carla says to the security guy when he comes back over, "Well, she's his caregiver." And Carla says, "Well, that's all well and good. Did you get the license plate?" He said, "Yes, I did." Yeah, you don't need to worry about it anymore.
What if Carla said, because she's pretty witty, she said, "Well, I'm his caregiver. You don't see him sitting in the car."
Hey, it's true. It's very true. Yeah. Don't you know how important it is to let them get out?
I'm okay.
And Carla only using pronouns.
Okay.
Don't you know how important it is to let them stretch their legs? They can overheat.
They can get very, very warm. What would you guys have done in the same situation? I'm curious.
I would have gotten some wire hangers and then some yarn.
I would have called a locksmith.
Pony, what would you have done?
I would have gotten there late.
Perfect. Well done. Oh, my God.
No, I think you did a good call by doing management, but if I had seen management dragging their feet, I would have called the police.
Okay, so
especially
the last
if you were that invested, if
the
you
last
watched
thing
him like that,
the wussy security guard says to me, and this is where suddenly my candle got lit.
Mm-hmm.
The security guard comes over and says, "She said it's only been about 10 minutes." And that's when I got pissed off. I said, "That's it? She wasn't contrite at all?" I didn't even deal with the security guard. I walk over to her.
Oh, boy.
I said, you really shouldn't leave somebody in a car like this. It was either calling security or calling the cops. And what did she say? She said something in the lines of, "I was only in there for 10 minutes. You should. I'm his caregiver." I said, "Well, the care does not appear to be all that good today."
Whoa,
I said, "You really should be aware of that. We could have called the police." She said, "I was only in there." She's so dismissive. We did call the cops.
Good.
Because if she had that attitude about the fact. Now, there's nothing you could do. You can't file a report because the person's already gone. But we got a hotline, an elderly abuse hotline. But at the same time,
hold
it was
on
just
to that number, Mike.
It was exactly it was exactly what you would expect of the type of person that would do it. And incidentally, what kind of BS term and generic term and wide-ranging term is the term caregiver? Does that not indicate this is not a family member?
No,
right?
it indicates
I mean, if it
that
was
it's
my father, my uncle, my husband,
someone's being paid
that.
to take
To
care
me,
of
it
them.
indicates that
paid.
they've paid somebody who has no licensing, has no. It's not a nurse.
Yeah.
It's not a nurse practitioner. It's someone with no training that's doing it. And you know what? Carrie took care of Big Daddy up until the day he died. And because of this, I've seen the kind of work it can require. I've also seen, we visited homes for other relatives, and even in places that should be qualified, you see people left unattended in hallways. You see horrifying things. And the fact,
and I don't mind if they're left unattended if they're in an environment where their body's not going to overheat.
But
and that's
what
the only
I'm saying
thing.
is that this is even worse.
If it's not like, do you think he's not capable? He's not going to probably turn the ignition off or something like that.
No.
Leave the friggin' car on.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, then I'm walking by.
Ideally, you don't even take him there. You leave him at home and get to the grocery store at a time when he can be in a comfortable, safe place.
Wouldn't it be
like his
great
home.
if you pulled up next to him and you and Carla just figured out a way to open the car, just put your arm around, open the car, and then took him out. You carried him into your car, and then she shows up and he's in your passenger seat.
To see you driving away. Yeah,
With
she
air
leaves just in
conditioning
time,
on.
just in time to see Mike driving away with him.
Or what if we did that and we put him in our car and suddenly it was a situation where when you do that, it's like some sort of ancient tribal custom where now because we have put him in our car, we are now his primary caregiver. Oh, thank you so much. You have saved my life. Now I must be yours forever. That is the way it will work.
It's like Gremlins. You fed him after midnight.
Tag,
and
he's yours.
Now he's yours.
Thanks,
Never
fellas.
seen it. Probably never will. Even down here with all the old
hope
people
to
down
God
here, probably
it
never
doesn't
see it
happen
again.
to you,
And
Mike.
you know what, Mike? Even if that had happened, at least you would have made a friend.
We'll never leave you in a car.
Her attitude was just the way you would expect. Look,
Yeah.
and I understand that's a difficult job. I understand
it's
that
tough.
you have to deal with the elderly, that you are dealing with this person being in care. Probably an awesomely difficult job, but still, don't leave somebody in a car.
Well, no,
please.
I mean, you know what? There has been an effective enough ad campaign that she would not have left a dog in a car. But it's okay
And don't
to
they
leave
talk
a
about?
Wait a second.
Don't they talk about the windows being rolled down?
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Now this is a hypothetical. I'm no father, but if you have a 13-year-old kid, right, and he's just a mess to deal with. Like you have to go in the store. If I left that kid there with the windows down and no air conditioning on, and he can get out if he wants to, is that okay?
But that's another factor. But no.
Oh.
No,
That's
it's
not
not.
legal?
No, actually, not now. It's not
What
legal.
if he's
I
like a
don't think.
real turd?
Well, then
You're
the court
talking
might
about
decide
personality.
on
The
you.
court doesn't recognize personalities like that. You know, that's the way
Damn
it goes.
it.
But no, you just even if he can get you can be overcome. The whole issue about that, correct me if I'm wrong,
right,
is you can get overcome
True.
with the heat, and then you're
Very
not capable of getting out of the
Then
car.
you're-
So
And obviously, if he's struggling to give you a thumbs up,
struggling,
then you know what, he is not.
It's like a movie thumbs up.
Yeah, a little bit, just a
Slow
little
mo.
bit. Yeah,
he looked, he
Not-
looked like
not
about
okay.
1 million people down here, and it really freaked me out when I saw that because it was just like, as I said again, if she's copping that toot about it, she's all I would have expected was, you're absolutely
That
right.
does
I will
stink.
not do that again. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all we
Well, we
wanted.
did the
And
right
okay.
thing.
So incidentally, we called. I go in to do the shopping with the baby. Carla stands outside.
so the baby,
and
you brought the baby in?
She chats with the officer, and we and the officer said we did the right thing. Because you're always wondering. I hate doing that because it's like, to me, I always think, is this something that the cop doesn't want on his plate? Cop could not have been cooler. Lee County Sheriff's guy down here that was saying, no, you do that. That's there's nothing we can do, obviously, but it's good that you alerted, because if it was a dangerous, life-threatening situation, I'd want the cop's quote, I think, was something along the lines of, I'd want people to behave like you behave.
True.
And that makes you feel better.
And he
when
got to
you're-
go
when you're
grocery
dealing with
shopping.
That's true.
and you what the cop
Yeah.
with us came into the store.
Oh,
and said,
imagine that! Like you're there.
yeah,
He's
I mean,
on
we're
a
halfway.
call.
We're in the aisle 2, and I went,
Yeah.
grapefruit. Here, no, please, no, my treat, grapefruit.
What were the
Grapefruit. There you go.
demographics, and what sort of vibe did the caregiver throw off? Was she youngish? Was
boy.
she oldish?
Probably
Black, white,
probably
Hispanic.
early 50s.
Okay.
White
Asian.
woman, early 50s white woman, and appeared
Overweight?
Really, you know what I would have called her if you had asked me and I had to make the judgment call? I would have said, well, that's the daughter. That's the daughter, but it wasn't the daughter, and it was just
was she heavy?
the dude. She just blew it off. And that pissed me off. That's when we called the cops.
Yeah.
Because,
Interesting.
all right, if you're blowing it off, how often do you do other stuff? And there's just no way of really getting to the
Sad.
bottom of that.
That
But
is
that was
sad.
it.
You did your part, though.
Yeah. And did you see any elderly people at the Renaissance Festival this weekend, Rob?
Yes, I saw some wonderful elderly people in costume, Mike. They were
Oh, wonderful.
beautiful.
Sorry,
Just
yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
I swear to God, I would not ever. You would have to put me in the trunk of a car, duct tape me, and dump me out in the middle of the place. I would not go to the Renaissance Festival.
It was so much more than I expected.
Is it still in Crofton, Maryland?
Yes.
God!
Crownsville.
Crownsville,
which
same
is
thing.
adjacent to Crofton. They're pretty
Right.
much equal, are they not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah, same
it
type
is.
of thing.
It is. I expected when I went, like maybe a series of tents, maybe a few booths, and 10 people in a costume. And you know what? The daughters wanted to go. It started back in like late August, I think, where my daughter and her friend Bella wanted to go to the Renaissance Festival because Bella had gone before.
Nice.
And because Julia plays volleyball, which is a Saturday activity, Bella plays, I think, soccer, which is a Sunday activity, it was impossible trying to find a weekend we could do it. However, due to Columbus Day, Bella had the day off, so we cruised out on Sunday.
Ooh,
Hey, Bella, ciao,
there you
Bella.
go.
And it was, we got there, and the parking lot really looked like a Redskins game.
Wow.
I would say, Mike, there were 20,000 people at this place.
Because there's nothing to do.
There's nothing to do there.
There is nothing to do. No, there's nothing to do. I mean, so you go to a festival with a bunch of medieval people eating steak
And
on a stick.
A steak on a steak, Mike. You got to get it right. But I think the most entertaining aspect of it was the fact that I think he friended my dad because he thought my dad was me.
Mm-hmm.
The king. The king of the Renaissance Festival is a massive fan of this show. And he is
Gotta love it.
He is wonderful. He is a big man, not unlike myself, and
I love the picture. I love the picture with him.
he wanders the grounds of the Renaissance, bedecked in jewels and rings and a wonderful, marvelous costume. And Mike, if you want to address him, it's Your Majesty, or use his real name, which is Fred Nelson.
Hello, Fred.
But
hello, Nelson.
What I know about the Renaissance Fair is that everybody stays in character. Like when you walk in, you feel like you're in medieval times.
And the deeper you go into this thing, and this thing is probably 3 acres. It's a village. I mean, it's like going to Georgetown. Except
Well, that's what it takes, Rob. It takes a village.
I know it does, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I get to the king, and I just see him. I just watched the jousting, which, by the way, pretty amazing. People in real suits of armor driving at each other on horses with sticks. I was impressed with this. And I'd already seen some pretty great things like.
Was it hot? Was it hot or was it cool?
No, it was. The temperature was almost perfect. It was a little muddy because we came off a little bit of rain. Yeah. But they had thrown straw around, and it seems to me that's probably.
How many? We figure if you're just looking at it, how many failed actors do you figure are on the campus of the Renaissance Festival? Just
I would say every failed actor within 90 miles is there, and you get a nice mix because you get some of the older people in the true big Renaissance garb, and then you get someone. I swear to you, Mike, I saw someone dressed as a pharaoh.
Yeah, just to be costumed, right?
And I said, Julia, he's dressed like he's Egyptian. He missed it by like 5,000 years. And she says, Dad, I think they just like to dress up.
They do.
I said, you know what he's doing? He's letting his freak flag fly. He's just out there. And also there's a lot of pirates. There's a whole band of people dressed as trees walking around.
Was there a lot of cleavage? Sometimes, were there any hot women at all? Or
Mike,
were they all like the big,
I'm a man who
with big boobs?
I love statistics. And I started thinking, and I heard a rumor that it was a sellout, that they had sold capacity crowd that day. And my estimate is that there was...
Welcome to horror.
My guess is that there was about 20,000 people at the festival that day.
Oh, my God.
And the
easy parking, right?
Oh, my God. Everything was easy. There's nothing like waiting 20 minutes to get a hard cider.
The Redskins played that day, you know.
Yeah. Mike, you would think by odds alone...
That 4 o'clock game, Oscar. You can go into the
NFL.
You can go to the.
I want to watch the other games. The Cowboys had a pretty good game.
I watched the Redskins at the Renaissance Festival on a wooden television. So you would think, based on the fact that there are 20,000 people there, you'd say half of them are women, right? 10,000 people. Out of 10,000, don't you think there would be at least one good-looking woman?
Not the
I'm
case.
sorry, Mike. There were none. But if
that's too bad.
But if you have a thing for huge, suspended, milky white breasts being displayed in such a way that you want to say, honey, put them away. That's the place to go. Right
Take
there.
a break. We will come back with news you may not need. You are listening to the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hey folks, Mickey Coachella here, and I would like to invite you guys to listen to my podcast, It's Mickey, and if you like to listen to fast-paced talk, occasional disagreements, and just all-around interesting stories, I think we're the right show for you. We can be heard right here on the More Broadcasting Network, or you can just go to itsmickey.com, that's ITSMICKEY.com. So give us a listen and join in on the fun. If nothing else, you'll love laughing at what a moron I can be. That's itsmickey.com, and It's Mickey on iTunes.
Thank you, Mickey. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Sleep Number Beds. I talk about it all the time, every night. I can't wait to get into my Sleep Number bed. Great thread on the fan page last night, as a matter of fact, about Sleep Number Beds, where someone wrote something along the lines of, I hear Mike talk about how wonderful the Sleep Number bed is, but I wanted to get somebody else to back that up. And I simply put, how dare you?
This was a great post, Mike.
How dare you? How dare you, ma'am? How dare you question my love of the Sleep Number beds? But, I was surprised at how many people got on that thread, and we're talking about how much they enjoy it, especially the people talking about how it helped out with their back pain.
Yes.
And, last night I was talking to you boys about getting out and swinging the club for the first time in a long time with my bad back, and it was early to bed, early to my Sleep Number last night, and I felt great when I woke up this morning. My Sleep Number setting is an 80. Carla's is an 85. They have Sleep IQ technology that use sensors to track and optimize your sleep. It tracks your heart and respiratory rates, so you know the precise amount of perfect sleep you get every night. It is simply, and I am not exaggerating here, the smartest bed in the world. Yes, the
Yeah.
Sleep Number bed with Sleep IQ technology. Find this amazing technology at a Sleep Number store where a C2 Queen with Sleep IQ technology starts at just $999.98. See why Sleep Number was named Best of 2014 by a leading consumer magazine. Find your Sleep Number setting today only at one of the 450 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Find one near you by calling 800-511-0061. That number again is 800-511-0061. And most importantly, when you get yours, my friends, please tell them that Mike O'Mara sent you.
News.
Boo. And here we go, everybody. I am so pleased to be with you with news you may not need. The nominees for this year's American Music Awards were announced yesterday, and Iggy Azalea, the girl named after a plant. She led the pack with 6 nominations. John Legend, Katy Perry, and Pharrell are next with 5 nominations, while Lorde followed with 4. AMA nominees are determined using a formula that weighs artists' music sales, prevalence on radio and TV, internet streams and videos, plus additional online metrics, which include social media activity. We hear about metrics in our business
Oh,
quite a
yeah, all the time.
Did either of the Iglesias boys get a nod?
No.
No,
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Those days are over, I think.
Yeah, sad.
And, of course, there were some other artists included in that news story further on down the list, but I refrain from mentioning them because, due to mispronunciations, I will look like an old fart.
Get
Thank you.
5.
Amanda Bynes will remain on an involuntary psychiatric hold for at least 2 more weeks. Psychiatrist extended her involuntary 72-hour hold after determining that she's currently a danger to herself and to others. Yeah, that's not good. That's
And also,
wild
you know
stuff.
what? She's not doing well. She was really counting on that AMA nomination, and nothing
Right.
came
I
through.
wonder what that bank account looks like now. Like, really?
Probably pretty depleted. You know, you look. I was watching last night, just skimming through movies. There was an old one with her. She's in a bikini, looking pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Talking to a Ken doll co-star.
Most
and
of
I
her
said,
movies-
She looked crazy back then too.
Yeah, most of her movies.
She didn't.
Yeah, she had crazy eyes.
She does. Mike is right.
Rob, am I right? She had the crazy eyes
you're
back
right.
when she was doing. Take a look at her eyes. She's got crazy eyes. She's
seems like all of her
I don't
movies-
understand. I don't understand why this is going on.
Every time one of her movies pops up, she's pretending to be a boy in some sort
Yeah.
of. She's going to a.
She's all that. I
Oh,
think
is that the name of the
I
movie?
think
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Got crazy
One
eyes.
of my favorites.
Yeah.
Well, she was unleashed
Top notch.
last December, and that lasted about 10 months, and now she's back to it. Way to go, girlie. Ann Romney has told the Los Angeles Times that Mitt is done with running for president. Completely. This is her quote. Completely. Not only Mitt and I are done, but the kids are done. Done, done, done. That's her quote. Her comments appeared in the paper yesterday. Mitt has been a bit less enthusiastic with his answers to that question.
Well, he's run 100 times. He's sick of it.
But he hasn't been as enthusiastic denying it as his wife has been.
I'm with you.
So there's still some speculation that he may jump eventually, but we're not sure. And so she's almost. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, that documentary that chronicles their run on Netflix that they put out.
So great.
At the end, when it's that solace and the solitude and the quiet that comes when you don't win the presidential election and the Secret Service has left you and you're just in your home, it is. I mean, that is suicide worthy.
Yeah.
Because you come off that roller coaster, you're like, this is it.
Oh, and the journey that he took.
Right?
I mean, that movie, I felt more invested in that movie than I do most well-written dramas.
Why would you put your family and yourself through that another time?
Yeah.
There is it's the political animal, Oscar. I mean, he's
Wow.
got
He
it down
does.
here. You
Yeah.
see these people. They are running a campaign down here. Charlie Crist against Rick Brown, the governor, the sitting governor down here
Sounds
in
like
Florida.
a Vegas act. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Brown.
It's just like ads that are along the line of, and Charlie Crist is simply a bad for Florida and a crook. Rick Scott
God.
eats his own children. You know, it's just like, Jesus, it's incredible. I mean, and they're saturating the airwaves, and it's amazing. I don't know. You know, really, it's kind of a broad show, but if you want a little perspective, a show that I think handles politics very, very well is The Good Wife.
Yeah.
And you really see the Eli Gold character who does a really nice job of showing how down and dirty
Is
it
she
really
running
can
for
be.
state's attorney?
She seems to be running for state's attorney.
I haven't seen.
Alicia Florrick does seem to be running for state's
catch
attorney.
up on Hulu Plus.
I just hope that Mitt runs again because I'd like a chance to play this again.
Hello, this is Mitt Romney calling. I just wanted to give you a call
poor
to
guy.
see if we could speak directly.
We cannot.
No, thank you. Speaking of television, NBC's Dr. Nancy Snyderman violated her 21-day Ebola quarantine by making a secret run to a New Jersey restaurant.
Oh, I didn't know it was to a restaurant.
Yeah, that's according to TMZ.
She wanted
They previously reported several people say they spotted Snyderman last week in the backseat of her Mercedes.
My Mercedes! Oh, my Mercedes! I need cabbage rolls. I'm going in my Mercedes.
Outside the Peasant Grill near Princeton University. Now, that is an ad for the pet. It is so good, people with Ebola come to get it.
Yeah, it's sort of sending a mixed message, though, Mike. The food is that good, but some lady with Ebola touched all the silverware. So
I know,
it's kind of a give and
Well,
take.
she stayed in the car, but here's the thing. She stayed in the car, and someone from the NBC crew, also under quarantine, went inside the restaurant to pick up the food. A restaurant!
Who's Brian Gumble?
You're an a-hole if you do that.
You are.
That means you think you're above the law, and
Right.
nothing bad's going to happen to you, and that's that.
Well, it was voluntary. The quarantine was voluntary.
Well,
We're
now
told a
it's
third-
not.
We're told that
Timing
a
the news,
third
yeah.
member of the crew from TMZ, also under quarantine, stayed inside the car with Snyderman, who was wearing shades and had her hair in a ponytail.
Hot.
This is, the health department in Jersey now turned the voluntary quarantine into a mandatory one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is kind of elitist, isn't it?
Stay
It's
at
a little
home,
bit. I must
Skype
have
in,
my
you jerk.
I must have my pierogies from
Yes.
Peasant Grill.
The
Please.
weird
Yes.
thing is that I also saw Dr. Snyderman at the Renaissance Fair. So she had snuck into that in an outfit yet.
Right. When Neil Patrick Harris lost his hetero virginity. Thanks. That's all that you're going to get on that story.
I
Thank you
got
very
into
much.
that.
Wow.
No
Do you
pun
really
intended.
wanna hear
Yeah,
about
I want to hear about it.
You want to hear about it? All right, let me open it up again. All right.
That's his
When
hetero
Neil Patrick
virginity.
Harris lost his hetero virginity, it was to some girl who just wanted to do it with someone famous. He says, quote, afterwards, she didn't want to date me or anything. I was sort of shell-shocked by it all. I thought, okay, where's my pants? And then she was gone. The interesting thing about this story, this is my part of it, is that I didn't know that he ever lost his hetero virginity. I also wonder if it was during the Doogie Howser years.
Yeah, was it to Wanda?
It would have to be doing the Doogie years, don't
She
you
was
think?
a piece of ass.
Even a small act of kindness can have an impact, but this is a huge act of kindness. 68-year-old Alan Law is a former teacher in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Since he retired 15 years ago, he's helped thousands of people every single week. Each night, listen to these hours, from 8 until noon the next day, Alan picks up sandwiches from church groups and charities. Then he drives around in his minivan handing them out to the homeless people, and he never misses a day. The only time he did miss, last year, when he had prostate cancer and had to have surgery.
Wow.
But even then, he snuck out of the hospital to do it, and despite the cancer, he still delivered over 520,000
Man.
sandwiches last year alone. He also gave away 2,000 blankets, 3,000 pairs of socks, and this year he's on pace to hand out even more sandwiches, about 700,000.
Wow.
He only gets. Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, if we could meet up with him, we could save a fortune on lunch.
That would be terrific.
We just
He
have
only
to find
gets
out where he is.
3 or 4 hours of sleep a night. Always sleeps in his van. In fact, he doesn't even own a bed. His entire apartment is filled with 17 freezers to keep sandwiches in. He said he plans to do this for the rest of his life. I thought that was kind of a cool
Mike,
story.
on the heels of it, the holidays are coming up, and I remember as a young lad, I'd go to some so others may eat and
right.
volunteer. You think we could do a day of service for the show here this holiday season?
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Right?
I think that's a great idea, and
I'll do the research.
Yeah, I'm coming back into town probably right around the third week, third
I think
week
that
in
would be
December.
nice. I think we've been
that'd
very
be a lot of
blessed.
fun to
We
do
should
that.
give back a little.
Bring mustard and
Absolutely.
mayonnaise, Mike. We're going to need it for the sandwiches.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Rob, you okay with that?
Absolutely, I said.
Okay, very good. And now a little something. Last week, police got a call about a naked woman running around knocking on doors at 6 in the morning in Trinity, Texas. But they didn't find her until an hour later when someone else spotted her sitting in a tree.
Oh, no.
Then while the cops were talking her down, they got a third call about her boyfriend, who was also knocking on doors naked. Eventually, they both admitted that they were on meth. Shocker.
What?
They wanted more, and they were trying to track down their drug dealer, 42-year-old Jacob Walker. It's not clear if he even lives in the neighborhood that they were running through naked. Anyway, they said they'd been texting him, and he wasn't answering, so the cops told him they'd try again, and this time he did respond. He said he'd meet them at their house and got busted when he showed up. He would have been there earlier, he said, but he had his phone turned off while he was in the theater watching Annabelle. Thank you very much, Annabelle. I would have been here earlier for you. Annabelle was on.
Yeah, they ran a thing and said I had to turn my phone off.
We'll take a break. Audio Vault, Rob Spiewak coming up next on the Mike O'Mara Show.
It's Tony and Gary.
Hey, Tony Perkins here.
Hey, Gary Stein here.
On the current edition of our show, we've got comedian Chris Paul, one of the funniest human beings on the planet.
Is he funnier than us?
I think he is.
Okay, he can't be on.
Well, he's already been on. You can listen now. Also on the episode, we pay our respects to Creaky the Clown.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, he's dead. On the current episode of the Tony Perkins Show. It's not funny.
I'm not laughing.
The Tony Perkins Show.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Brought to you by Stamps.com. I love the feeling I get when I'm on my laptop. I click I click on the mouse and boom, things are done. It's a miracle of the modern age, and now you can get all your mailing and shipping done with one click. You don't even have to leave your desk. All thanks to Stamps.com. Stamps.com turns your PC or Mac into your own personal post office that never closes. With Stamps.com, you can buy and print official U.S. postage with your own computer. Just print it out, stick it on, and then hand it to your mailman. How easy is that? We use Stamps.com all the time, and you should too. You'll never have to go to the post office again. Act now for a 30-day free, no-risk trial and $110 bonus offer, including a free digital scale and up to $55 in free postage. Just go to Stamps.com and click on the microphone and use our secret code, TMOS. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com, and before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type TMOS. Stamps.com and TMOS, and we thank you. Without further ado, let's open up the audio vault for Tuesday. Is this already the 14th of October?
It is October 14th.
Flying by.
Oh, my God. Go ahead. Take it away, Rob.
Tomorrow's the Ides of October. When we've said this in the past, and I even said this on the first episode of Cake and Cookies, we're doing a podcast because everybody gets a podcast.
Yes.
And it's slowly and surely coming true, Mike. Here's one I found yesterday. I think you're going to like the slick production that starts this one off.
PodcastOne.com presents Back and Forth with Sean and Larry King. We're a TV and radio icon, and his multi-talented, beautiful, and much younger wife interviews celebs and newsmakers and pull back the curtain on what goes on in their home life. Now, here's your hosts, Sean and Larry King.
Now, Mike, you're a man that has a certain sight. You have The Shining. What Larry do you predict we're going to get? Are we going to get excited Larry or disinterested Larry?
This is low energy Larry. Larry can hardly open his mouth when he's on a podcast.
I was just at Podcast One when I was in Los Angeles.
Were you really?
Yes, and they mentioned to me, said,
we've
got Larry coming on.
Do you want to hear
and his much younger wife?
Is it that funny? That's the one thing.
Dick, but the delivery is so horrible, it's not even, it's like thrown away.
Well, what they do, Mike, is they do what everybody does now. If you don't have a great voice, you just whisper it. You whisper,
yep,
Thomas's English Muffins. What do you want?
Cage presents Larry King.
They've got some great shows. I don't know if this is a great show.
Well, let's hear the clip. Let's see. I just clicked random. Here's the first moment of the first episode.
Welcome to another edition of Back and Forth with Sean and Larry King. She goes first because that's the rule. Right?
No, that's not the rule. Well, it is. It kind of is the rule in our house.
Yes, yeah, no kidding. Sean King, the ruler of the house, the singer, entertainer, television host, mother, and raconteur. And I'm Larry King, you know. Anyway.
Wow.
Before we begin today, one of the major problems in America is stress.
Okay, that's enough of that. But I
and
think
it's
that's
health.
all you
of
need
course,
to know.
it's going to be health related because Larry cares about that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about stress.
How do we keep me alive?
Yeah. Why, ladies and gentlemen, this is Larry King. Why are my balls down near the floor?
What is the age difference between you and your wife?
400 years.
She's much younger. She is much younger.
Yeah, boy.
Anytime I get a chance, Larry, to play this, I always love to play the Peter Dinklage theme.
I love it.
Pretty Good Supercut showed up on YouTube. One of the most frequently uttered words on Game of Thrones that we can actually say on this show. Mike, here's every time they've said the word bastard.
Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard.
Bastard.
After a while, it starts sounding like the word busted.
Busted. Busted.
Trying to find the king's blood.
Busted. Bastard. 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 Bastard.
Bastard. Bastard.
Bastards. 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 Bastard. Bastard.
Bastard.
Bastard. Bastard. Bastard.
Bastard.
Bastard.
Bastard.
Bastard.
Bastard.
Bastard. Bastard. Bastard.
And I like the occasional woman or kid in there.
Bastard.
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 Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard.
Bastard. Bastard.
Bastard. Bastard.
Somebody actually had to go through the episodes and find it.
Everyone.
Wow, that's tedious.
There you go. There's your bastard supercut. And in closing,
I definitely hear the hand of the king in there, too. Bastard.
Bastard. Happy birthday, Jimmy Cerrito.
Yay.
That's your magic audio ball. Have a great Tuesday, everybody.
Thanks, Rob. We got to get out of here. Don't forget, we are a month away from Reno Cat 2014, made possible by our friends at Encore Insurance. Get yourself your tickets. We're going to be there Saturday, November 15th at 8 p.m. at the Mandalay Ballroom at Circus in Reno. You can call the box office at 800-648-5010, and everyone who buys a ticket qualifies for backstage passes, baby. Tickets are now available, and special room rates are still available to the best of our knowledge. They haven't called us in a while. I think we're doing fine. Just click the link on the Mike O'Mara Show website, and we will see you there at CAT 2014. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Please remember to check out Encore Insurance Services, LLC. Since they compare the rates for you, they do all the work, and all you have to do is save the money. Just visit smartterm.com or call 866-347-5748. Again, that's 866-347-5748 or smartterm.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.